So, couple things. One, we have some undecided voters immediately that were being focus grouped. And under 30 for Michigan, Jonah says, I don't know what he's talking about in terms of his false claims that immigrants are eating pets in Springfield, Ohio. So that's cool. Um, brilliant move from Donald Trump being extremely online and flubbing that big time. One thing I will say is this. I think you and I will both agree that the American population has already made up their minds on Donald Trump. Maybe he can
Yeah.
eke out tweak the margins a little bit with like young men, conspiratorial minded people that don't actually show up on polls, right? Like he's had the capacity to do this before. He's done it twice, as a matter of fact. He's done it he's done it twice where he's like brought forward people that normally are not necessarily polled well, right? Like people that normally
Yeah.
don't go out and vote.
To an extent, there are some explanations for why the polls were off in 2016 and 2020 beyond just like that factor. In 2016, the pollsters didn't weight by education, which was why they got it off really poorly. And in 2020, you had a situation with COVID lockdowns
Yeah.
where like people liberals were staying at home and were always answering their phones, so they were disproportionately represented in polling. So that neither of those things will be the case in 2024. The polling was accurate 2 years ago. I don't think that it's guaranteed that he will overperform the polls, but his team seems to be banking on it, and I don't think that's really wise.
Yeah. So here's a couple things I want to say about this, right? I'm not saying this is a success method. I'm
Yeah,
not I'm not saying that this is like a successful method for Trump. I'm saying that this is what he's going after, in my opinion. I think that that's like with the RFK endorsement, Tulsi Gabbard. Like
yeah,
he's trying to carve out like what remains in the demographics that might not have like a solid opinion on a dude who was president for 4 fucking years, right? And
yeah,
it's going to be hard, especially because he wasn't just the president. He was a hyper telegenic president. There was a lot of opinions on in either
yeah.
direction, right? So it seems like my point is it seems as though Donald Trump, I mean, and I think this is reflected in the polls, like he's locked in, like his audience is locked in, his voters are locked in. So he might stand to win here and there a couple people in the margins. He might stand to lose a couple people potentially. That's less likely, in my opinion, because if they're committed to Donald Trump at this point with maxed out name recognition, then they're probably invested and they're probably committed. It seems to me like Kamala Harris was looking to, like you said, show who she is to a broader audience of voters who might have voted for Joe Biden or might have historically voted for the Democratic Party or is going to vote for the first time ever, but aren't necessarily enthusiastic about going out and voting for Kamala Harris. And on that front, I think she absolutely showed herself as like a reasonable adult. What like the
Yeah.
Biden team thought Biden would be able to do, and he obviously failed to do so because his brain was leaking out of his ear. But in terms of like activating a lot of those people, I think you have to meet them where they're at, recognize their material conditions, recognize the problems that they're experiencing, and offer them like a decisive policy prescription, a solution to their problems. And I think
Yeah.
personally, she didn't do that much.
No,
There
I
were
don't think so
moments,
either.
yeah, there were a lot of moments I think where she could have done that, especially when they were talking about fucking healthcare. Like that's such a gimme. Trump is literally
Yeah,
chirping. Trump is chirping about how Kamala Harris wants to give everyone healthcare. Like that's
concepts of a plan.
and she's just sitting there like shaking her head furiously, like, no, I don't want Medicare
No,
for
I
all, I
don't.
promise.
I don't want to support the thing with 60% approval.
And it's
Like,
like, you're so fucking stupid. This is like another Israel style situation where
yeah,
she is directly at odds with the fucking broader electorate. Okay.
yeah.
Like directly at
Because
odds. Like remove
it's
your head from your fucking ass. Okay. Waltz is on ABC. All right.
oh,
People want me to hear what Waltz had to say.
yeah,
Let's tune
sure.
in to see what he has to say.
Certainly, and you couldn't get any different than this. The reinstitution of Roe versus Wade, what was the law of the land for 52 years, You saw this in there, and him pushing back to the states. She's exactly right. It's people like Amanda in Texas, which everybody saw on the stage in Chicago, nearly bleeding out, having sepsis twice because she can't get the care. She's been absolutely clear on this. Everything Donald Trump said, that is untrue. The clarity of this is Roe. When you have Roe, you have the protections in place where women make their own decisions with their healthcare providers, not Donald Trump.
Okay, thanks so very much for joining us, Governor Walz. John?
And we have...
I said, if the goal for tonight was to simply demonstrate for the Harris campaign, was to simply demonstrate competency and remind people how narcissistic and incompetent Trump is. She put up LeBron numbers, but the goal tonight was to also get voters enthusiastic about voting for Harris. On that front, progressive policies would help. I said 8.5 out of 10. That's my assessment of Kamala Harris. As far as Trump's performance, it's like minus 10 out of 10.
It wasn't as bad as Biden, but it was like in the same area code. It was like in that ballpark.
It was like, yeah, I mean, Biden is like historic. That's like once in a lifetime failure, right? I mean, he had to drop out. That's how bad it was. But I cannot, he ate every bait. He was extremely online. He was disheveled. He literally leaned into like all of the worst instincts, like all of the worst things that people point to him about. And he even leaned into like all the issues that he should be avoiding, that cost him the midterms, even like cost the Republican Party the midterms, like loser shit. Bro, he said at one point, nobody on the other side even died on January 6th. The other side was your Congress. Okay?
Yeah, and the cops.
And Mike Pence and cops, Capitol Police. Like, what the fuck are you saying? It's like, the only Ashley Babbitt died. Nobody on the other side even died. It's like that's crazy, man. That's an insane thing to say. Like, I often talk about how silly it is, like how much hyper focus like liberals put on January 6th. And that's, I think, part of the reason why it's like reflected well in the polling. Like, Trump is a threat to democracy. Why? Because that's the key thing that Democrats can't shut the fuck up about, right? So obviously it's going to be reflected in the polls to a certain degree. I wish they would have that same energy for immigration in terms of counter messaging, but they don't because they're fucking stupid. Anyway, but ultimately Trump just keeps bringing back. It would be like if Kamala Harris did the Joe Biden thing, regularly bringing up how, like, I don't know, undocumented migrants are like doing rapes or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's akin to that.
Shit. Yeah. The healthcare stuff I was gonna say before we cut to the Walz and Vance stuff. Like, it's always kind of frustrating me because like during the and the moderators did a better point at bringing this up than honestly Kamala did. During the Trump era, during his presidency, he reached his lowest points in like approval over his tax bills and over Obamacare. Those were really, really unpopular. Obamacare is like broadly like a consensus kind of bill.
Yeah.
Like, Obama himself is very popular. I mean, I get like kind of the like saying, oh, we're going to expand and protect the Affordable Care Act, but like it's like the exact opposite of how they push on immigration, where like they're totally defensive and reactive about it. You could make healthcare into a big issue this election. That would be really helpful for you. Like, you could like push like it. You could like talk about how Trump has concepts of a plan or whatever, and how like you want to do a public option. You could force this and make like the issue better on your terms. Don't make it just the thing that's about like the immigration and the economy. Make this like be assertive. Like, change it like to be about what you want it to be about. But like they just have a fundamentally reactive and like reactionary like perspective towards it that doesn't like work. Like, it's just like very passive.
Yeah, I genuinely cannot comprehend how he like failed to be normal on immigration, a strong suit, and like didn't even talk about the economy. Like, he rarely talked about the economy in that entire. The whole point of Trump was to be moderate, right? Like, was to seemingly look normal, more normal than you've ever seen him before. That's what his like advisors keep fucking telling him. And they're like, don't attack Kamala Harris on race and stuff. Like, just be a little bit more normal. You know what I mean? Be a little bit more normal. Maybe you can pick up some fucking voters on the sidelines. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are angry about the economy. Like, you're beating Biden on the economy. You're beating Kamala Harris on the economy. And it's crazy that, like, he just could not take a fucking deep breath and just be a goddamn adult. And he just he insisted on eating every fucking bait possible. Incredible.
Yeah, it's the worst time for him because the momentum was kind of shifting in his favor. You had the discussion and the polling moving towards more being about how Kamala doesn't have a plan, how like she doesn't have like any real clear policies, how she didn't inspire confidence at the DNC, and there were some inklings of him getting towards that point where he, like, I mean, JD Vance tried to do it where she just said that she only has platitudes, which I think is a real problem for her, and she did that a little bit during the debate where she really didn't have too many like specific points, but he totally made it about himself, just talking about fucking like I don't even know who Abdul is. I don't even know who that is.
I know who it is. That's the funny story. He's the fucking Taliban chief, right? Trump literally
it's a
actually
different guy who's the head of the Taliban.
no, he evac them out of a Pakistani prison and brought him to the United States of America, which is why it's really funny when he just keeps saying like, "Oh, I sent him a photo of his house." It's like, "No, dog, you took him out of jail. Like, he was in prison, okay? He was in prison. You got him released from prison and you brought him to Camp David. You did not send him a picture of his house unless you showed the photo of the Pakistani prison he was in." So that's like another thing. That's another lie that he loves repeating for some reason. JD Vance. Oh, I can talk about JD Vance.
Don Jr. for the first time in his life, a lifetime of his own abuse that he unheeded himself. He should have listened to himself. He's gonna beat Don Jr. with a shoe.
Dude, honestly, Donald Trump's biggest mistake was ever listening to Don Jr. That's when I knew this shit is cooked. Okay, perma fried.
Yeah,
like
the
Don
worst
Jr. Don Jr., you don't even like him. Why would you ever listen to his opinion on who that sweaty fucking cokehead loser thinks is like cool?
If he had Doug, he'd still be contending in Minnesota. If he had Doug, he would be up in fucking like North Carolina now for sure.
Dude, I'm a Bergamaniac. Okay, I'm a Bergamaniac. I've been saying it. I was gonna vote. There were two VP picks that would have changed my decision. If Burgum was the VP, I would have voted for Donald Trump. And if Jesse Ventura was RFK Jr.'s vice president, I would have voted for RFK Jr. They both fucked up. They could have gotten my vote.
Jesse Ventura Green candidate like rumors in 2020.
Yeah,
I wanted that so badly.
Yeah, but he gets libbed up. Like he
endorsed a duopoly. He endorsed the Democrats.
He really did. Yeah, he really did. He was like, "I'm really excited for a woman to vote for a woman in the White House." I was like, "Damn, Jesse, what the fuck?"
It wasn't even like, "Oh, I'm like oh, these guys are like the lesser of two evils." He went like full like DNC like talking points. He was talking like a wine on.
Yeah, a lot of our old heads have fallen.
Yeah,
Bernie Sanders being like, "Yeah, I don't really agree with Dick Cheney a lot, but even he hates Donald Trump, and that's good." I was like, "Come on, bro, what the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, that Bernie, one guy who doesn't fuck around about being 82 years old.
I was like, Bernie, they're not gonna do card checks. Shut the fuck up. You don't have to destroy. They are not going to make you a junior partner in the coalition.
Yeah.
Okay, you're 800 years old. Why are you doing
this? They're never
this?
passing a fucking public option, man. It's not happening.
Yeah, they put him in the cuck chair, dude. They just keep whipping him for the crimes of contesting Hillary Clinton in 2016 forever.
Yeah. His late stage career, he's like trying to work his way up to like better Senate committees. Like he's a fucking like decrepit Dixiecrat from 1950. He's trying to do the Richard Russell fucking strat.
Yeah. He's a real team player.
Yeah,
surely.
If he stays in Congress until he's 90 years old, they'll let him like chair the Appropriations Committee like Robert Byrd.
No. They're gonna let him take Vermont. They're gonna let him take the old people in Vermont back to Canada so they can like purchase pharmaceuticals there.
Yeah. They're
gonna
let him
please anything.
They're gonna let him build an FBI crime examination facility in Birmingham, and that'll be like the culmination of his life's work.
It feels bad. It feels bad watching him like that. But
yeah, I don't know. He was a big Russia head like during the Trump era. Maybe he just is lived up.
You were joking about voting for Trump, right? Oh my God, chatters. Yes. Shut the fuck up. Oh my Lord.
No, we would have actually voted for Trump if we picked North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. That's completely sincere. That was going to be the heel turn.
I forget that there's like 160,000 people in here. So like they have no fucking, some of these people are just like tuning in for once and they're like, what the fuck's this guy saying?
I'm a single issue voter about him picking Glenn Youngkin. This is like completely like what I believe.
Yes. I'm undoing every opinion that I've ever had.
Yeah.
Because Doug Burgum is on the
ticket. The guy who
ticket.
looked like Brezhnev.
Yeah. But hotter.
Yeah.
His eyebrows are powerful.
Part. Yeah. Trump's odds on betting markets have started tanking. He's down to 46 cents on Predicted. He's lost to degenerates.
Yeah. The copium tomorrow is going to be so delectable. I can already sense it from here. First of all, everyone's going to complain about the moderators fact checking.
So fucking funny.
Here is a really good idea. If you don't want to get fact checked, don't say Haitian migrants are eating cats on the most prominent national stage you've been on. Are you
when you're like 78 years old?
And then he started debating the moderators. He's like, actually, I saw it on television. Real old man hours over there. It was incredible.
I keep on getting recommended Megyn Kelly's tweets, and she's so fucking pissed off. She is so mad at the moderators.
Ben Shapiro.
Oh yeah, Ben Shapiro.
This debate won't matter.
This is what the Biden people said. This is exactly what they said.
Yeah, that's how you know this shit popped off.
Yeah.
This debate won't matter. It was just eliminated as an inflection point. The American people still know nothing about Kamala Harris' positions. Donald Trump is still Donald Trump, and the legacy media are still a giant flaming dog turd.
Don't go after them too hard, Ben.
Wow. He busted out the big words, the big boy words. His wife is not gonna let him sleep in the same bed tonight. Oh my God. Oh, it's gonna be delectable. It's gonna be delightful.
I'm gonna make the Trump replacement tier list.
Yeah. This is Trump never. Oh, the conservatives are in the chat. Trump never mentioned Haitian people. He never said Haitians. Yeah, dude. You're right. We haven't been paying attention to the same media cycle that the Republicans have been pumping this entire time.
Who does he think we're eating the cats?
Yeah, no, random. He actually was talking about like, random people in Springfield, Ohio.
Yeah. We just gotta get rid of that one city. There's something in the water.
This is so funny. This level of cope from Trump heads is hilarious. He said Venezuelans though. Yeah, he said Venezuelans Aurora overtaking apartment complexes. He won the jank Uyghur vote with that one. A real Aurora head, my uncle. Anyway, yeah, this is what happens when you're extremely online. I keep fucking trying to repeat this to people, like, do not look at Twitter and assume that that's how normal people are. Can you explain this story to a bus driver? If the answer is no, if it fails the bus driver test, like, you probably shouldn't be running a national campaign on it. Oh my God.
The likes too hard.
Yeah. Megyn Kelly's mad. Oh, great. Taylor Swift's post. Yeah, of course Taylor Swift posted about who she's voting for president. Of course, he got 1 million likes in 13 minutes, dude. What are we talking about?
Funny that she repeatedly mentioned walls.
Yeah, no, I do like that. Yeah,
she said I would have been fucking for her if she like picked Shapiro.
Yeah, this is. Yeah. I'm reading the tea leaves. She's actually an anti-Zionist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wants Kamala to go off the ticket and be replaced with Walls. And Walls would be up by 10. I don't give a fuck. People can call me coping, but like at that point you just have zero issues.
Oh, dude, 100%. His oppo has been, they're like third removed, like distant cousins are voting for Trump. Like that's the oppo on that front is so awesome. They're like,
yeah,
they're talking about how he like swapped out his dog or some shit. Like it's just so, it's so bad. It's so stupid.
Today is that's like the thing they're getting him on.
Did you see this? DUI. Trump just posted literally 2 minutes ago, insider paper poll from Twitter. On his Truth Social poll, Trump v. Harris, who won the presidential debate? 78% said Donald Trump. 23 hours remaining on the poll.
Have the live reaction polls come out yet? Oh no, it hasn't yet. I thought Red Eagle Politics. I thought he said that 75% said that she won. It was just him trying to expectation set by saying that the CNN poll would say that, which the CNN polls actually have been pretty predictive in the past. People forget this, but Hillary actually saw a big surge after she beat Trump in the first debate in 2016. So these things can matter, especially in a race as tight as this one.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, Kamala decisively won tonight, decisively.
Yeah.
That's not a question. But obviously this is always a matter of how close the polls will be. And in terms of proving herself as someone who can meet Donald Trump, she will get a lot of fucking clout off of this too. The media will go crazy over it. Yes, I'm running the 3-minute ad break now. Okay, calm down. Yeah, you can, avoid those ads if you subscribe, chat. You already know. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. But overall, like I said, I think this is there's a phenomenal opportunity here to legitimately push for decent policies and deliver majorly for the Democratic Party. If the Democratic Party was even remotely interested in being a competent party that is not completely in the pocket of corporate interests, and actually wanted to, go back to a New Deal style Democratic Party, which they're not.
Yeah.
I know that they're not. I'm not being silly about
Except
this.
for Whitler.
Okay, sure. But
yeah, whatever. Yeah.
But ultimately this is the opportunity. The numbers could look insane right now. You have a historically unpopular Republican that people have made their minds up on, and they're worried that him consistently calling Kamala Harris a fucking communist is going to harm her, or at least presenting it as though they're fearful of that, when none of those smears, which shouldn't even be fucking smears at all, have landed.
Yeah.
It's so
She tried to
stupid.
go after her and her dad, her cool ass dad.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, it was insane, bro. Yeah, she wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens who are in prison. I think he saw
Frank Zappa line.
No, I think he saw the K-File post. So that's gonna be the Trump world's gotcha. They always love getting one of those, where Trump will say something that comes across as very unhinged, and then they'll be it was actually true, sweetie, and they'll run with that. That was a gimme for them, I guess. But yeah, it's actually Andrew K-File. Andrew K-File's original reporting from 2019, I think. Fact checking online said it was misleading and not false. Lol. Yeah, exactly. It's not technically false, I'm pretty sure. But that is something that people will hyper focus on in the Trump world. They'll be like, "Oh, see, the media's lying," even though yesterday they said this was the story. Okay. Well, all right. Any last words before I let you go?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting to see the live reaction polls. I mean, I don't think I think basically the summary is that Kamala's trying to run the Biden campaign instead of a campaign.
I'm not ending the broadcast, chat. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. It's 11 p.m. for me. So but she's trying to run the Biden campaign. She's doing it relatively well. I think that a lot of the stuff that it's she's able to do the basic stuff that Biden couldn't. Will this resolve the big kind of looming question of what she stands for? Probably not. Does she need to resolve that? Maybe she doesn't need to resolve that. I wrote an article on my newsletter earlier today. I think that her campaign really does need to get real and does need to start addressing these actual concerns and does need to start running more substantial stuff instead of just like really like scripted platitudes. Like, I mean, the spot run thing actually did kind of land for me because that's kind of correct. She does just say good stuff is good all the time. But the fucking full Chiron for Taylor Swift endorses Kamala Harris.
Of
But
course.
yeah, but like she, even with all of this, even with the DNC that really put her worst, like kind of the worst version of her on display, she's still leading in more than enough states to get 270 electoral votes. Like,
Tim Miller says, just spoke with Lindsey Graham in the spin room. He said the debate team should be fired and Trump was unprepared. Disaster.
yeah, it was like Matt Gaetz and Tulsi Gabbard. I mean,
Laura Loomer.
Laura Loomer was there.
Yeah.
I saw he brought her. I didn't know if she was part of the team.
I don't know if she was part of the team or not, but
yeah.
I'm still gonna lie and say turns out hanging out with Laura Loomer wasn't the best idea.
No, I get it. I get it. He was at least hanging out with her, yeah.
No, as soon as I saw her coming out, as soon as I saw her ugly ass walk out of that fucking plane, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a fun night. Like,
yeah.
I thought he was gonna be kind of boring. Like, I thought he was going to be kind of boring and not have that same energy, which might I thought maybe that would like play well into, you know, is Trump a moderate now type shit that the media loves like repeating, you know, fucking Van Jones.
Yeah.
But nope. As soon as I saw Laura Loomer, I was like, oh, shit's gonna be awesome tonight. He's gonna say some unhinged ass bullshit, and he did.
Yeah,
and
it
he
lived
fucking
up to it.
did. Laura was like, Mr. President, sir, please talk about the dogs and cats that the Haitian migrants are eating. And he was like, that's a great idea. Thank you, Laura.
Facebook. They are making so many memes about that so quickly. That and Abdul, I think that's the funniest shit ever.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck was happening there. Like, I just don't understand how he has like, did he look at DeSantis's team and go, that's great. We should do
I'm going to go for a second debate.
Oh, Kamala already asked for it. Wait.
Yeah. It was 12 minutes ago.
Yeah, Kamala Harris asked for it, but I don't think Trump is going to do it.
No, he's going to say they're biased.
Yeah, he's going to say, yeah, you're right about that. I saw your tweet. Like, he's going to say how biased the moderation team was, and that's why he's not going to do it. But then that opens him up for a line of attack where, you know, they could just be like, he's a coward, he's running away.
Yeah, people, Red Eagle Politics is saying, oh, like, I thought that he did so badly in the debate against Hillary, but he won anyway. He would have lost that fucking, like, thing if, like, the Comey letter didn't come out. Kamala's not getting the Comey letter. Like, good fucking luck, man.
Yeah, the Ingram says if she's asking for another debate, they don't think she won this debate. They would be saying, mic drop, we're done. They don't think that she's in a position right now to win this race. No, I think it was a gimme. That's why. I think they saw how fucking easy this shit was. It was easy street. And they were like, oh, let's do that again, please. Let's do that every weekend.
Oh, Caitlin Clark liked the post where Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala. Caitlin Clark endorsement incoming. Angel Reese is going to back Trump now.
Oh, dude, they are. I mean, they already had secured the white woman vote. That's like, now it's permanent. It's perma-locked. There was a really funny tweet that I wanted to share with you. I think one of the Aiden Updates accounts said that like Kamala Harris is trying to appeal to the youth by using youth slang because she said families with young children need to afford a crib, need to buy a crib.
A crib?
No, they literally they thought that like
no.
The Aiden Ross
child care is one of the 3 issues they've let her talk about. So like that was like in a literal sense.
Yeah. See, but that's the fucking annoying thing is like when she does actually have like a coherent policy point that is like objectively popular, and then Trump is asked about what he would do on that front, he has nothing. Like even for that reason, like if you want to watch Trump fucking flail around, just like put fucking policies out there and be like, this is another thing that we're gonna do, so we can sit there and talk about how, like, if Kamala Harris gets elected, everyone will have health care. Oh, it was Aiden who
We
said
know
it.
that young families need support to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a long time. so that those young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children. My passion, one of them, is small businesses. I was actually, my mother was too expensive.
Oh, never mind. It wasn't Aiden who was saying it. It was the Aiden update account. Kamala Harris has already started the debate by incorporating slang into her speech. Crying emoji. God, these guys, thank God they will never be able to find a polling station. You know what I mean? Like, and
They're too young to vote anyways.
they're also ineligible to vote.
Yeah.
Like, luckily. Holy shit. Like,
Yeah.
contextually, how the fuck do you hear that and think like, oh, she was using slang for house and not like a baby's crib?
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
That's her housing plan. Oh my God, the Facebook libs are going so crazy, like over the Taylor Swift endorsement.
Oh,
This is
for
how I
sure.
keep my what?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Vivek said it was 3-1.
What is this? Oh, they're saying Kamala Harris had an earpiece and that she was getting fed lines. Let's go. Love that.
That's an earring.
No, you don't. No, it's a secret. It's a fake earring. It's not a real buy on. Okay. No, it's not. It's not a real earring. It's a fake earring that is getting. I mean, all of these are admissions of defeat.